Hey guys, Thrasher here, and we have a new update in Dragon Ball Legends. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, so along with the new update, we did get a few banners. We will talk about those at the end of the news. So let's jump into the news area, and we're going to scroll all the way down, start at the bottom here, where they have the update on the new parts of the story. So they added main story part 4 book 8 to the normal. There's no hard mode for any of those in part 4 yet. And then equipment awakening renewal, we'll talk about that a little bit. And then updated various events. An event has come back and it does have some new pieces to it. And then adjusted the arts card explanation to make physical blast arts easier to understand. Nothing crazy there. It just makes it easier to understand how the blast arts card works. We don't even really need to look at it. And then we can scroll down here, and the events for Vegeta and Android number 20 are coming back, but there's nothing crazy there, so we can just skip those two completely. The equipment collection now on is the hybrids. So if we see at the top here, stage hybrid, so if you need any equipment items for hybrid characters specifically, that is what you're going to want to run. Back out of there, and that's all of the old stuff that really hasn't changed much. The equipment awakening renewal, let's open this and talk about it a little bit. So all they've really done here is for some of the equipment items that you awaken, it was too hard to awaken them, so they changed it to make it a little bit easier. If you look at the top here, you'll notice that there was a lot of requirements to awaken this memory right here. They made it so that rather than having a bunch of A class of all these different equipment items, you just need an A of the original, and then you need a B gold and a B silver of a few. The problem is that they didn't make it easier for everything. So a good example of that is the Beerus one down here. It's still pretty hard. You need 3 S Beerus equipment items, which is fairly hard to come by, and then you need 5 A of some other type that are gold. So overall, it's still not where it needs to be. It's still pretty tedious, but whatever, they're getting there. They're moving in that direction. Hopefully they go even further in the future. Let's back out of here and scroll down, and the next thing is the cell games. So the cell games are back. They've added a hard mode where it starts at, I believe, level 51. You cannot do all of them yet, so I believe it goes to 100 if we scroll down here. So there's a bunch of rewards for normal and hard mode that they're going to talk about. We get some more chrono crystals, some Masters Pack 2 stuff. You're also going to get this title, the I think it's supposed to be True Fear, not Rue Fear, but there was a typo and it's missing the T. As you go through hard mode, you'll get that. But like I was saying, you can't go through every single level yet. It's time gated as it has been in the future. So complete what you can for right now, and then over the next few days they'll be releasing everything else. And then we'll back out of here, and then the next thing to talk about is this guy right here. So the Ultra Spacetime Rush rewards have actually changed a lot. They've changed the Ultra Spacetime Rush itself, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But you can go down through here, and this part is kind of weird. It's a little bit different than most of the things they've done before. If you want to see the rewards for each of the different Ultra Spacetime Rushes, you actually have to click these buttons right here. So I'm not going to go through what each reward is. You can, go through and look through yourself. There's a lot going on here. I just want to make sure you're aware that you have to actually click these buttons right here, and it'll show you what you need to know. So then we'll back out of there. The main thing to keep in mind, though, is they did kind of nerf Ultra Spacetime Rush in a few different ways. One, they made it a little bit easier. It's 10 stages. There's only 3 of them now, and you only get 100 chrono crystals per. So if you're a newer player, it's going to be easier for you. If you're an older veteran player, you're not going to get as many chrono crystals, but it is going to be faster and easier to get through. So that's that. We should jump in here and just talk about the revamp, I guess, a little bit, just so you get a better idea. Number of stages in each rush has adjusted. So each rush now consists of exactly 10 battles. Like I said, there's only going to be 10, and then as a way for newer players who are still powering up their characters to get the hang of the mode, the enemy levels in each rush are now fixed, meaning that the early levels of the characters are pretty easy to beat. They're not max level characters, and then by the end it gets extremely rough and hard to beat, but that's that. So essentially they've tuned it so that it's helpful for new players, and it's a little bit of a nerf to older players. I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's the route they've decided to go with it. And then the campaign for getting 400,000 followers on their social media networks, we get 500 chrono crystals. Now, when I checked in my gift box this morning, it looked like it was only 50. So then as we log in over the next 7 days, we'll be getting another 350. You can see that pretty much right there. And then there's another 150 chrono crystals from doing these missions down here. So take care of all that. It's all really straightforward stuff. The only one that maybe you won't just complete from just playing the game over the next few days is use 10 energy on Yamcha's Home Run Derby. So make sure that you're going in and doing Yamcha's Home Run Derby every single day to just use that 10 energy up. Only do it for the EX, the challenge battles or whatever they are that are worth more. There's no reason to do it on the standard battles and waste your energy because we have multiple other things that are pretty big energy hogs right now. And then close out of here, and I believe that's pretty much it. So the Extreme Battle Royal, we got the medals for them this morning. I believe I got mine like 2 hours ago. Use them up. Make sure to take care of those. If you're not sure what to spend on, I do have a video from 2 days ago that you can check out that has my recommendations. Otherwise, just make sure you use them. You're good to go. The shops, sales, there's no amazing sales in there, and then there's a new banner that you have to buy the sales to spend on. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. The Legends Android and the Premium Summon. So let's jump over here and talk about these real quick. We're going to go to Summon, and we will talk about the Premium one last. This guy right here, Legends Androids, it does have, let's scroll down one more. This one does have a daily discount summon for 20, so absolutely do that. Let's look at the featured characters real quick. If you pull this Yellow Perfect Cell, he's still a phenomenal unit. He's still worth pulling. He's a great unit. This cell is garbage. There's no real use for him right now. The Android 16, not useful at the moment. He was a great unit when he came out. He was an awesome tank. He just doesn't have a lot of tanking ability at the moment. He's not super durable compared to a lot of tanks in the game. I think he needs a minor buff so that he can really become viable again as a tanking unit. I don't think it needs to be massive. He's just underwhelming at the moment, not worth pulling. Android 17 did get a buff, but he's a unit that's in one of the older master packs, so there's no real reason to go after him here when you can get him essentially for free. And then Android 18, an older unit. She was good when she came out. She's not really great anymore. And we've got the other Android 18. She does have good damage potential, or at least fairly decent damage potential, but the team that you're going to run her on, there's not a huge probability that you're going to run her very often, and she's not really worth pulling to spend full price on. So if we go over one more, we see that there's the Extreme units, the Extremes Android 17 and 18, and I think the 16, oh no, the Extreme 16 is not there. But let's go over and look at, real quick, the Z-Power list, and just see that it is a 7% pull chance. So if we go to Z-Power list right here, we'll see that there's a 1% chance to pull the cell, there's a 1% chance to pull the Android 17, who is good, but you can also get him for free, so probably not worth it. And then the other units, it's 1%, and then they've got a bunch of these garbage units in here for the last 2%. So if you were to ask me, there's really only one unit on this entire banner that's really good and you really want to pull on, and it's not worth to spend full price to go after a 1% chance of getting a unit that you might want. So in my opinion, this is a 2-star Dragon Ball banner. Only do the daily discount summons. Those are worth it, and outside of that, just stay away from this thing. So 2-star banner, only do daily discount summons. Now, let's talk about this thing. This is a cash grab, and it's a really annoying cash grab. There was a similar cash grab with the Christmas bags that you had to buy last Christmas, where they had a bunch of units. Every time you bought a Christmas bag, it gave you a bunch of guaranteed sparking tickets, it gave you some energy tickets, other stuff like that. It was extremely good value. This is $16. I believe the first one is $16. Let me go make sure. So we're going to go menu, shop, and it's either 15 or 16. Might even be 17. $17. So $17 is going to get you 1 guaranteed sparking and then 4 more pulls. And then if you spend another $17, you get the same thing again. And then that takes you to step 3. So let's talk about this. $17 is going to get you a guaranteed sparking and then 4 extra characters. Sorry, this is the wrong area. This is getting me a little fired up. Not worth it. I'll just tell you that right now. We're going to go to featured characters, and this unit, great unit. If there was an extremely good chance to pull this unit, it might be worth spending $17, maybe. But here's the thing. He is split between this guy who's okay, he's still a decent unit, this guy who is still a decent unit but not worth $17, this guy who's not worth $17, and then this unit is old, he was amazing when he came out, not worth anything at this point, and not really worth anything. That's a joke. I'm very annoyed that they put the Kid Gohan on here. He was a great unit when he came out a month after the game came out. This game is now over a year old. I believe we're a year and a month in. This unit is over 1 year old with no buffs whatsoever, and they're going to put it on a banner where they're going to make you spend $17 to have a chance to pull this unit. Super annoying. So let's back out and let's just look at the percentages real quick. Z-Power list. We're going to go over to actual Z-Power list over here. So On this entire banner, if you're spending $17, the only unit that's worth pulling for $17 is this unit right here that you have a 10% chance of pulling. So you would need to spend about $170 to have a reasonable chance of actually pulling this unit, or like, what is that, like a 75% chance of actually pulling this unit. That is not worth it if you ask me. Now, if you factor in these 3 units down here, you have, what is that, 45%, the other 10%, you have a 55% chance, so almost a 50-50 chance of pulling a usable unit, but not that's worth $17. These 3 units down here really don't get used very often anymore. They are viable on a few teams, but no absolute top tier team runs any of these 3 units. The only unit that's run in any type of top tier meta team at all is this Gohan and the Sun Family team, and the Sun Family team isn't really used that often because pretty much everyone is running Fusion. So if you ask me, this is a trap banner, this is a whale banner, it's a 1-star banner, do not spend anything on it, not worth it. That's it for this video. If you guys think I missed anything, throw it down below. If you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.